Hi everybody out there in Instagram land. We are recording live today on both the I Am a Clean Eater channel on Instagram and the Artisan's Palette channel, I think, on Facebook. We're your hosts. My name is Pia Maffei. I'm owner of Artisan's Palette, and I'm joined as always by the wonderful Charissa Bradley, also known as the Doctor of Food. We're here in the store, and we can have, this is our 10th month doing this little series. It's called Clean Eating 101. And we're in the store. So if people come in, sure, come on in. Hi, how are you? Welcome back. We're here live in the store. We've got a little audience around us as well. And we are talking about the 10 Commandments for clean eating. If you have never seen the 10 Commandments or have heard of the 10 Commandments, we strongly recommend that you go to www.iamacleaneater.com, and on that website you will see all 10 of the 10 Commandments. We're doing number 10 today, which is lead by example. I introduce the topic and then I pass it over to Charissa, and she's going to give you a short little snippet of what each of the commandments are and just bring you up to speed, and then get to number 10, which is lead by example. It's one of my favorite commandments. In fact, earlier today I had several customers in the store, and this is exactly what we were talking about, is this commandment. That one was a woman. She's been on this for 9 months doing the clean eating, and she said that it's finally, she's gotten into her rhythm. She knows what she's doing. She's able to inspire those around her, including her husband. And so she's like, he's good because he'll just eat whatever I eat, so that's okay. But then what about, lunchtime, and what's he doing then? And now he's being a lot more like, well, what is in there? What am I eating? Why do I feel not so great after I eat it? So we want to introduce to you all 10 of the 10 Commandments. Again, please visit us at www.iamacleaneater.com. And there's meal plans on there, and it's everything you need to know. Our blogs, you can sign up to our YouTube channel on there. And the reason I wrote the 10 Commandments, about 2.5 years ago now? Yeah. And a lot of what I do is always, well, if somebody would have said it to me that way, if somebody would have explained it to me that way, I would have understood it. And so the 10 Commandments is never about telling you what to eat. It's helping you ask the questions about what you should be eating. That's it. That's what it's about. And we know that this is a journey. So you can be doing awesome for 3 months and then not so awesome for like 2 weeks. And that's okay. That's the journey. The idea is just get right back on. Let's do it. Let's not forget what happened. Let's just forget what happened a couple weeks and move on. Okay? So somebody's waiting for me at the register, so I'm going to sign off. I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of Charissa Bradley, and then maybe when I come back I'll explain a little bit more about why I created the 10 Commandments.
That'd be great.
Lead by example is our 10th one and one of my favorite ones. So Charissa, take it over. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Hello, welcome. I'm so excited you're all here, and I'm excited for those of you watching the live or the replay. So real quick, let's go through the 10 Commandments just so that you get an idea of where we've come from and where we are now. So now Pia wrote these in the order that they should be learned, right? First one is let the ingredient list guide you all the way to what we're going to be talking about tonight, which is lead by example. But in my opinion, that last one, that lead by example, is the most important of the 10 Commandments. And the reason I say that is because the whole purpose, or the whole platform for eating clean and for changing the way we live our lives, is creating kind of a snowball effect. We can't go out and convert every single person who's in the McDonald's drive-through line and say, hey, you need to get out of this line, this is bad food for you, let's get you cleaned up and be a clean eater, and we're going to do all these things. There's nothing more obnoxious, right, than someone who knows more about you, about your diet and what you should be doing, and wants to give you all of that advice. Now, I can say that as a nutritionist, as the most annoying person telling people what they should be and shouldn't be eating, right? So it's not You don't want to be that person who's like changed their whole lifestyle, changed their whole diet, and then you go into the office and you're talking to your coworkers and you know everything, right? You know what to eat, what not to eat. That's not the person we want to be. Instead, we want to be the person who's out living their life, the best life that you possibly can, vibrant, healthy, strong, and have people asking you, what did you do? How did you get to be this way? How did you get to look this way? How are you feeling so great? I have no energy in the middle of the afternoon and I see you running laps at 3 o'clock around the building. What are you doing that I need to be doing? So in this way, leading by example, we can create that snowball effect, right? The first starts with you, and then maybe it's your significant other or your spouse that gets on board, and then maybe it's some family members of yours, some family members of theirs, and this starts this effect of that we're growing and growing and growing the clean eating community, not by forcing or pushing people in a direction that you think is the best way, but by living your best life and inspiring them to do the same. Right? There is no one size fits all. There is no, here's this one sheet that tells you exactly what to eat and exactly what not to eat for every single person. That just isn't that's not reality. We each come from a very different genetic backgrounds. We each deal differently with proteins and vegetables and fats and fibers. All of us have a different digestive system. So nothing is gonna work for you that's gonna work for everybody else. It's not so cookie cutter. But if you go out and you live your best life and you're feeling amazing and you have amazing energy, then that example is going to get people asking questions and get people inspired and inspire hope and change. So that's my little bit on that. We'll dig a little bit deeper into how you can lead by example and a little bit more in a minute. So I want to go back into what were the 10 now that we know my favorite and I think the most important. So number 1 is let the ingredient list guide you, and basically what we want to tell you there and what we've been telling you in all of our videos every time we go live is don't trust deceptive marketing, don't trust the packaging, look at the ingredients, see what's actually in it, and decide for yourself if that's something that you want in your body or not. So actually know what's in the product. Go organic or non-GMO at the best as you can. So as much as you can organic foods. If you can't afford organic, go non-GMO at the very least, just to keep as many toxins out of your body as possible. Number 3 is watch out for deceptive marketing. Again, media and marketing and all of these things, these fancy packages, they are meant to get you to buy products, not to get you to explain anything healthy or what should be in your food. Just because it says on the label gluten-free or vegan or paleo, whatever it says, that doesn't mean it's the best food for you. So make sure you're reading the ingredients, not just looking at the pretty packaging. Number 4 is grow your own, and in that video, if you want to go back and through and look at each one of these videos, has about a 30 to 45 minute class on each one, and you can find that on our YouTube channel from the Clean Eater website. So grow your own, learning how to grow your own organic vegetables. Number 5 is shop local or farmers markets. So that's supporting your local community. I don't feel like we have to go too much into detail about that. The more you support your local economy, the more you keep your money in your town, the better off your town can be, right? That makes perfect sense. Number 6 is stay educated and get informed, and what we're talking about there is doing exactly what you're doing right now. Watching a video like this, going back and watching some of our other videos, reading some blogs. Find some people that you really enjoy what they have to say and start listening more and researching more, and you'll find new things all the time that are beneficial for yourself. Number 7 is ask questions. So make sure you don't feel bad about wanting to know what's in your food, just ask. And the worst thing that people can do is just not know, which is what we found out a lot this past weekend. We went to the Foods Expo and people just didn't know the answers. And if they don't know the answers, and we're talking to the CEOs and the people who created the food products, and they don't know where their food is coming from, it's probably not the best company for you, right? If they don't know, then you won't ever know. Number 8 is get moving, stay active. And in this class, we talked about starting a moving program, and not necessarily like go out and join a CrossFit gym. You have to work out 14 hours a week and make sure you're parking 3 miles away and run home from work every day on your lunch break. Like, no, just do something. Walk around the block after dinner with your dog. Go walk up the stairs 3 extra times a day. Like, do something that feels comfortable for you that's a little bit more than you're doing now. So whatever your baseline is, whatever it is that you're doing now, if you don't get up off the couch even 1 time a day, get off the couch once a day. There's your movement for the day. Start somewhere and build up as you feel comfortable. And then number 9 is don't succumb to peer pressure. So here's a couple problems. So lead by example, right? This is where we're going to go today. But don't succumb to peer pressure. So when you first start eating this way, when you first start cutting out bad things from your diet, even if you just decide, I'm not going to eat soy anymore, or I'm not going to eat canola oil anymore, or one of these things, or I'm not going to drink for 30 days, or whatever it may be. The problem is there are a lot of people who are going to feel threatened by that. If you stop drinking for a month, those people who are still drinking are going to feel like you're judging them. If you don't eat sugar and you go to a party and they serve cake and you say, no, I can't have that cake, they're going to feel the judgment, right? And when those people feel judged, they want to put it back. So like, why are you doing that? I don't even understand why. That's not going to kill you. One bite isn't going to hurt you. Why can't you even have that cake? That's rude not to have cake at a birthday party. All of that nasty, nasty peer pressure is coming from a place of insecurity on the other side. They're feeling insecure because you decided to make some good decisions in your life and you're now separating yourself from them. And that's not intentional, right? You want to live your best life, you want to do the best things for you. It's not to hurt anybody else, but there are people who are going to take it that way. And they're going to have backlash because of it. They're going to say things like, you know, that's not going to hurt you, why would you do that anyways, or that's stupid, or that's not going to do anything, food doesn't matter. I mean, I've heard all of them. I've heard all of them. I have celiac disease and I've had people push bread on me saying one bite isn't going to hurt you. Like, it actually it will, very badly. So like, it will hurt me and I can't do that, right? And we have to get firm in our core belief system, who we are and what we're going to do. So I talk about this a lot with people. When we learn how to succumb to peer pressure, or how not to succumb to peer pressure, it's first building the confidence in ourselves, and that can take some time. For me, it took about 6 months to feel confident in what I'm doing, just for me. 6 months to be able to feel like, okay, I understand a little bit about what I'm doing. But it took probably a year before I felt comfortable telling the waiters and waitresses, make sure you don't put these things on my plate because it'll make me sick. And I didn't want to cause any problems or create any, stir up any problems or make it so that people didn't want to go out to eat with me because I was complicated, right? So it took about a year before I built that confidence. And that's what it's going to take. So don't feel like that you're not going fast enough, that you're not doing good enough just because you're getting a lot of peer pressure, and it's hard. It's hard. It's not just in school. We think of peer pressure, we think of, middle school age and all of the things that they go through, and it doesn't stop there. It never stops. We get peer pressured and bullied by the media, by our social media accounts, by the people that we choose to watch, right? It doesn't ever end. And even still, I get people who will tell me like, oh, what you're doing is just a fad, that's not going to work anyways. And I think, how silly, right? Because this is the original diet. I support the original diet, the diet we've been eating for 2,000, 3,000 years, not the diet that we started eating 50 years ago. That seems more fad-like to me in the time scheme. But it takes time to get comfortable with that. So the first thing you're going to do when you're on this path is you're going to work on your own confidence. You're going to work on, how do I make this and ingrain this into part of myself? So for me, I am, first of all, that's like in the world of the Bible, God, I am is a very strong thing, right? I am changes neural pathways. I am gives you the confidence. So for me to say I am a clean eater, that means it's part of me. It's not something that I do and something that I can take a break from on the weekends or a cheat day, because then I'm cheating my character and my integrity, because I am a clean eater, right? So when we change that, and it's not I'm trying to be a clean eater. I'm trying does nothing for your brain. I'm trying, your brain is so lazy, it'll say like, actually, you're not really trying because you had that cookie last week and that's not really clean, and this morning you had a soy latte from Starbucks, so like that wasn't clean. I'm trying doesn't do anything for your brain. I'm trying doesn't change habits, it doesn't change patterns. I am does. That sounds better, right? Like I am Sharissa. Nobody's gonna question that. I am a vegetarian. Nobody's gonna question you. When you say I'm trying not to eat meat anymore, There's a window there. There's an opening for people to come in and say, but you're just trying, so how about you just try this steak, right? If I'm trying to lose weight, well, you didn't actually go to the gym at all, you didn't actually do any of the things you said you were gonna do, so your brain says, no, you're not, and it doesn't change at all. But I am this. So for me, I am a clean eater gave me that foundation. It gives me that strength to say at parties or birthdays or whatever it is, or at this natural foods expo that Pia and I got to go to this weekend, and they tell me these foods are clean, and they want to give me the spiel and give me all the, you know, like, no, these are perfectly fine, they're organic. Well, I look at it, and with my standards of I am a clean eater, following the 10 commandments for clean eating, I know immediately this isn't worth putting in my body because it goes against who I am, right? So we build up the confidence, we build up who we are, and we stop the I'm trying, because that doesn't work anyways. When have you ever done anything that you said, I'm trying? Right? I'm trying to get the house clean, but also I'd rather drink this glass of wine and watch The Bachelor, right? That's really what our brain is gonna go to if that's the pattern. I'm trying does nothing for us. So I am going to clean my floors today. If I didn't clean the floors at the end of the day, I would be disappointed in myself. I'm trying to clean my house today gives a window. Well, I tried, but you know, I just didn't get it done. I didn't get to it, right? Who hasn't said that in the day? And then it's like, well, The Bachelor's on, the wine is already cold, hubby brought home extra chocolate. I'm good, right? Like, I don't, like, who cares if the floors are clean or not? I was just trying anyways. It's not even a big deal. I'll try again tomorrow, right? So when you make it that it's part of who you are, this is your life, I am going to clean up my diet, I am going to lose the weight, I am going to make myself feel better, I am going to live a long time without relying on my children to take care of me at 60 years old, I am going to live this life successfully on my own without too much support from other people. So when we make that decision, then people start flocking to us, right? Wow, you really have confidence. You really have the ability to say no to the cupcake or the pizza or whatever it is at the parties. And then they want to know, how do you do it? And you say, well, it's easy, right? It's easy. I am a clean eater. Right? Get your shirt today. IamACleanEater.com. I am a clean eater. So it takes away the peer pressure altogether. Boom, peer pressure is gone. We've now overcome all of it. And we can go on living our lives and lead by example and show other people how good it can be. Like, look at me, I can be the example for you. I've cleaned up my diet, I have energy, I do all of these amazing things, and you can too. And that changes people's minds. Going in and telling someone when they're in the drive-thru, like, you're doing something bad. What did you do when your parents did that with you? Did you stop? Like, oh, Mom, you're right. I probably shouldn't eat the entire bag of Halloween candy in one night. Like, no! You stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning, went downstairs when everybody was asleep, stole it off the top of the refrigerator, ate every single candy wrapper, threw up an hour later, and didn't have to go to school the next day. That's what you did, right? You didn't say, like, no, you're right, Mom, I'm not gonna do that. So that's not the way we help support other people. The way we support other people is by holding ourselves as strong as we possibly can, and then when they're ready for the help and they're ready for the support, we pay it forward. And we say, great, this is what I did, this is who I talked to, this is what's in my pantry, let me share with you a couple of really awesome recipes. That's how we lead by example. We teach people by doing the right things for ourselves. And this is what's taught in the standard of everything, right? You want to be a good person, you go out and be a good person and lead by example for your children. If you're gonna tell your kids don't litter, you just don't litter, and then they lead by example. We can't be hypocritical about this. So do that in your life with your health, with your nutrition, with your body, and lead by example in that way. So then our family members follow us, our children learn by leading or following that path without ever having to have too much resistance. So we lead by example by living the best that we possibly can. Right? Any questions about anything? Like on my rant. All right, so lead by example, by far one of my favorite of the 10 Commandments, because I just really love the idea that we can be as strong as we want as people and help other people at the same time by paying it forward. Once we've learned how to take care of ourselves, we can then share that information with other people when they ask for it, when they're ready for it. And don't go after people like, I know that this is the best thing for you and you need to change your diet right now, because it'll probably be another year and you're going to be beating your head against the wall trying to help them. Wait till they're ready, let them come to you, and just live as best as you can. Awesome. So, Pia, you want to close it up for us? So Pia just wanted to go through close it up for us and talk about how she created the 10 Commandments and why she created the 10 Commandments. So Pia's owned this awesome store, Artisan's Palette, in Temecula, California, going on 5 years now. In June, it'll be 5 years. And she has been meeting tons of people. She started it first as like an artisanal type store with local people bringing things in. And turned out that, you know, a lot of people that were coming into the store had a lot of adverse reactions to some of the ingredients that were in those foods. So they couldn't have the gluten, they couldn't have the soy or the sugars, things like that. And so as she meets more and more people who are like this, who are having these problems, she starts to understand that there's a different standards of food quality. And really at that point, then she started researching and learning about the different ingredients that were in the food. And then each time she learned something new, it kind of set a new standard for her. So, oh, these grains that are sprayed and they're all chemicals, they're not good for people, I'm just gonna kick them out of my store and not allow any products into the store that have this item in it. And then that just continued to happen until it became this very highly curated. Every single item was hand-picked, quality control, organic, non-GMO for the most part, and no bad ingredients. So recently, I think the last ingredient to cut out was about a year ago, and it was soy. So there's nothing in the store with soy or grains or artificial colors or artificial sweeteners, nothing like that. So you can walk in here, feel really comfortable, and buy the things in here knowing that they're safe for you to eat and safe for you to consume. So as she's going through this, as she's learning about there's these different standards of foods, she starts to think about, okay, what then could a set of guidelines be for someone who's looking to start living this kind of lifestyle? Maybe they didn't have to because they had some health problems, they were coming in, they can't have certain things, but maybe now there needs to be a kind of a higher standard, but not to tell people this is what you can and can't have, and not to even be under one specific umbrella of you have to cut all of this or all of this or all of this, but instead to give people the tools to guide them in the right direction. So things like, make sure you read your ingredient lists so you know what's in the food so you can make those decisions. And organic is a really good place to start. Non-GMO is an excellent place to start. So that becomes a commandment. And that continues until she created this amazing, amazing list of the 10 Commandments. And again, not to tell anybody you can and can't do certain things, but to give you those tools that if you follow these 10 Commandments, not only will you be a clean eater, you'll be a good, good person, right? You're helping, you're paying it forward, you're leading by example, you're training the next generation kind of naturally, but it's also to build you up into the best person that you can. Stay active, make sure you're supporting your cells, make sure you're giving your body as much as you possibly can nutritionally to support it. So that's where my take on the 10 Commandments, but I'll let Pia go ahead and close it out for you so that you can get any last minute tips from her. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, welcome back everybody, or welcome back me.
They didn't go anywhere,
No,
you left.
I left. Sharissa did an awesome job. She explained everything I would have wanted to explain, and then some, so awesome job, Sharissa, thank you so much. When you go on to IamACleanEater.com, we provide a lot of educational materials. This is one of our latest ones. And this one's called What Are You Buying? And in there's a blog that supports this. And it goes through kind of each level and helps you understand kind of where you're at. Now remember, we're not here, the 10 Commandments were never written, and the I Am a Clean Eater platform was never set up to tell you what to do. It's simply tools to inform you and help you ask the right questions. Okay, that's the main part of it. So when I wrote the 10 Commandments about 2.5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, I remember I was driving to a concert with my husband in Vegas, and we were talking about this, and said, you know, just so many people are so confused because they'll come in and say, oh, I'm vegan, and then we find out that they're eating a lot of soy, and it's like, well, that's not that great.
Or vegetarians who don't eat any vegetables.
Right.
All
Yes.
the time I get clients,
Yes.
I'm a vegetarian,
Yes.
Great, tell me what you eat, and it's all great.
Yeah, it's all pastas.
All pastas,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
No veggies.
Right, right. And so when we start to look at these categories, people want to identify with a diet. Oh, well, I'm paleo, or I'm vegan, or I'm doing keto, and I'm fat. Even I say it, I go, oh, I'm fat adapted.
Right.
But it's under the umbrella of clean eating. So all of those other things that you want to identify with, those diets or meal plans, fall under clean eating if you actually understand the 10 Commandments for clean eating and understand what you're buying. So very easily you can be, let's take for instance, you can be vegan, okay? So you can do a clean vegan or you could do a dirty vegan. So Oreos are vegan. How great are Oreos?
Taste
Not
or
so great.
quality?
What?
I said taste or quality.
Well, I think, I don't
How
know.
great are Oreos?
I don't think they taste that great. I never liked Oreos, no. So those are vegan, right? So you have to understand, and then all those tofurkeys.
Oh gosh.
That is
Any
some of the worst processed junk on the planet. Then there are some people that are doing keto right now. That seems to be every third person wanting to be keto. And it's like, great, it can be a really clean lifestyle or reset. It's better as a reset, actually not a lifestyle. But then they think it's a license to have a 16-ounce New York straight at the industrial level with a pound of Land O'Lakes butter. That's not clean. Okay, so then we say, okay, well, how do we improve that? You go pasture, local pasture. You understand where the butter is coming from, preferably ghee, and you know how to make these choices and then decide, oh, really, I don't need 16 ounces because I'm doing pasture meat and I get full after 4 ounces. So that's the journey. That's why we call this, when you wear I am a clean eater, when you say I am a clean eater, it means that's your journey. You've started your journey. It's not about perfecting it. It's about the journey. It's not about the destination. Okay? It's about getting there. So if you have questions, drop them below. Definitely sign up for our YouTube channel. There's cooking on there. We're going to have more cooking opportunities. If you have questions here, we'll check it out and see if anybody has any questions online. But leave them on our boards in here and we'll be happy to answer them. You can follow Sharissa directly at Doctor of Food. So that's her handle. And any other options that you, other ways
Dr.
to
Food,
get
that's
you?
the best way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Facebook,
Awesome.
Instagram, Dr. Food at Gmail, drfood.com. Just
You got it
Dr.
all.
of Food.
Dr. of Food. We love it. So we're thrilled that you joined us today. We're going to sign off. Please join us either Friday or Monday. That's when we go live again on our Facebook channel.
Thank you.
Both I Am a Clean Eater and Artisan's Palette. We'll see you next time. Thank you.